Hey FitBuddy family, excuse me for being a little bit sweaty. We've just finished recording some workout videos for you. But in this coaching video, we're going to talk about something that I call the results pyramid. And getting results isn't easy, and it does take some time for most people. But there's definitely a formula to it. So we're going to go through that formula with you today, just to kind of give you a bit of a head start and kind of get your mind kind of prepped for the journey that you're either currently in or about to embark upon. So the results pyramid. At the top of the pyramid, I put mindset. Now, if you watched the last video that we recorded, now I'm a great believer in that everything starts in our minds. We have to desire something. To get excited by it, to then create the motivation to chase that goal. So start with the mind. So number one, mindset will create motivation. It'll also create belief in your ability to achieve it. So you have to have kind of a set program of training, of nutrition, strategy, and you have to have kind of confidence in that plan that you're going to succeed. So this is why at FitBuddy, we do the success stories, we do the before and after pictures, just to give you that confidence that if you too follow this path, that is a tried and tested formula, you too can get amazing results. So you get that motivation, have that belief in the program, in yourself, have that confidence that if you follow this endeavor and follow our coaching advice, that you will get really good results. And then we've also put bounce back. So bounce back ability is something that we all need, because inevitably everybody will slip up or fall off at time to time. And it's how we cope with that, how we bounce back. I always use the Ronan Keating analogy, where we say life is a roller coaster. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. And that's the same with our training, with our nutrition. Sometimes we're on plan, sometimes we fall off a little bit, and we have one too many cheat days or one too many cheat meals. So it's having that bounce back ability, and we have to kind of first of all accept that we're all human beings, so we won't always be motivated, we won't always be on plan, we won't always follow good nutrition. We will slip up, and that's okay. We need to be able to forgive ourselves and have that bounce back ability. So that's your mindset. So we put the mindset quite rightly at the top of that pyramid. Then we move into the training. So without doing any training, you're not going to get any results. But also, by doing the wrong training repetitively wouldn't give you optimal results. So your training has to be the right balance of resistance training, of cardiovascular training. So it also needs to be progressive, so we can't just do the same routine over and over. It has to be increasing in difficulty. We have to change it up. We have to sometimes do HIIT cardio with short bursts, high intensity. Sometimes we do steady state cardio, which is longer duration, working more on endurance, more of a fat burn. And sometimes we do kind of resistance training, total body, push, pull, legs, working the core. We need to constantly be changing this up and have the right balance. Now, the biggest mistake a lot of people make when trying to lose body fat, trying to reduce weight, is they will tend to go towards more cardiovascular, more running, more cycling, more aerobic. And that's a great form of exercise, very good for the heart, hence cardiovascular, but it's limited when it comes to fat loss, because what happens is your body starts to, as you get to a degree of leanness, you'll start to metabolize and burn off muscle as well, which over the course of time will decrease your metabolism and lead to plateau. So by only doing cardiovascular, you are really kind of shortchanging yourself in terms of the results that you'll be able to achieve. So a right balance of resistance and cardio is what's needed to achieve your optimum body. And then it needs to be consistent. Now, whenever it comes to achieving results in any endeavor in life, consistency is always king. It needs to be something that we do repeatedly to create habits to get that outcome. If we do something for a week and then nothing for a month, we're not going to get that results, no matter how optimal the training is that you do. So it's best to be consistent, and that's finding a balance so you're not overdoing it. Incorporating rest days, some periods when you really go for it, some periods where you back off, which we call a deload. So it has to be under a set structure, has to be the right balance. It it has to most importantly be consistent. Then, moving into nutrition. So we get the mindset, we get the training, we then need to fuel our body for the desired outcome. Now, for most people who come to FitBody, it's to increase muscle and reduce body fat, become the best versions of themselves. So we're talking mostly in a calorie deficit. If your goal is to build muscle, then you want to be in a calorie surplus. But for the vast majority of you guys, we're looking at reducing body fat, increasing or maintaining lean muscle. So we need to be in a slight calorie deficit. Now there's many calorie calculators online. Put some links to them in the comments. But if you've been coming to FitBody, you will have a scan where we do your body fat percentage, your muscle mass, your weight. Also gives you a daily target for your calories in the bottom right hand corner. So revert back to that. MyFitnessPal often isn't great for working out your calories. So I will post a link below to be able to work out your daily calories based on your activity and your weight, height, weight, age, all that kind of jazz. So you need to be in a calorie deficit. Now, most diets, most weight loss clubs, they only follow a calorie deficit. They will preach calories in, calories out, and that's the be-all and end-all for weight loss. True to a certain extent. If you only reduce your calories, you will most definitely lose weight. But if you're only counting calories and you're not paying attention to the types of food that you eat, that weight loss will be a combination of water, muscle, and body fat. We want to optimize your results so that any weight loss is coming from your fat stores. So we need to make sure our macronutrients, which is our proteins, our carbs, and our fats, are in the right order. So what I mean by that is we need to have a certain amount of protein every day to maintain and build lean muscle. If you're only eating your daily calories of carbohydrates, it's great for energy, but your body's not going to have enough protein to hold on to that muscle to preserve your metabolism or to build muscle to tone up. So you want to at least have 30% of your daily calories coming from a protein source. So we've got links in the coaching of what the best kind of protein sources are. So we can't get into all of that today, otherwise this video would be too long. So we want to aim for at least 30% coming from protein. Then moving on to carbohydrates, we need about 50%. Now this number 50%, it's not as important as the protein. The protein is the most important. It wants to be at least 30% consistently every day. The carbohydrates, 50% is a rough guide. Your fats and your carbohydrates can be interchangeable. So if one day you have maybe more carbohydrates and less fats and vice versa the next day, that's okay as long as you're hitting your calorie target and you're hitting your protein target. Does that make sense? We recommend though, for most people, and this is from coaching thousands of people throughout my whole career, the absolute best split for most people is 30% protein, 50% carbohydrates, and 20% from fats. Now, the easiest way to track this is just to type everything into MyFitnessPal, and that will give you a total calorie count and also a macronutrient split when you click on that in the goals section. So, macros is very simply put your vitamins and your minerals. Now, if you're getting a good amount of nutrition from vegetables, from fruits, your micronutrients will be kind of complete. You can also look at this in MyFitnessPal and see if there's anything that you're maybe lacking, and then look for foods to incorporate that so you get a good split of micronutrients. Also, I'd recommend maybe looking at getting a multivitamin supplement just to make sure, just to give you that kind of backup to make sure you're getting everything that you need. But a supplement is a supplement to a healthy diet, certainly not a necessity. Then, your nutrition needs to be flexible. If your nutrition plan is too rigid, or you're cutting out certain types of food, or depriving yourself too much, it's going to fall down. There's only so much willpower we have as human beings, so we need to have a degree of flexibility. Now, flexibility can be in the types of food that you eat. It can be having a day off from counting calories. It could be having cheat days. It could be doing intermittent fasting. It could be using any strategy to long-term stay in that calorie deficit. By that, I mean if on a Saturday night we're going out for a meal, or you're having a cheat day, maybe cutting the calories on the days leading up to that by a few hundred calories per day to allow that excess. So over a 7-day period, you're still staying in that calorie deficit. And that gives you the flexibility to enjoy your life, to have a long-term plan, and not kind of be then sucked into cutting out things and depriving yourself for long periods of time. So the next one, really your nutrition needs to be enjoyable. If you think about it, we're spending a lot more time eating than we are training, and it's something that most of us would be doing every day, that's eating. So if we're constantly having foods that we don't enjoy, chances are we're not going to stick to it for long enough to actually see good results. So you need to make sure your food is enjoyable. And this is by playing around, experimenting, trying different recipes, making sure that you can flavor food in a good way, adding herbs and spices, condiments. There's ways of adding taste without adding calories. Have a look into it, play around. Maybe save up 100 to 200 calories a day as fun calories. And that could be sauces and condiments and things to add to your food to increase flavor. So it needs to be enjoyable. And there's that word again. Needs to be consistent. So guys, if you follow everything we just outlined in this video to the letter, and anything that you're not sure about, just simply ask me for advice and guidance. I guarantee that within a few short months you will have made rapid progress, if not already smashed your goals. So I hope this video has helped. Please ask in the comments below. Keep these questions and coaching suggestions coming in. My goal is to provide as much value for you and help you achieve your goals as possible. Bye for now, and I'll see you in another video.